Our mega series continues, where we're taking a look at all 30 athletes that will be competing at this year's World's Strongest Man. We're going to be looking at their story so far, how we expect them to do on the events, and how we rate their overall chances. Today's athlete returning to World's Strongest Man for the third time is Gav Bilton, the Welsh bull.
The sausage.
He's not a sausage. He's a bull. He's a big man, and he's a bull.
Gav Bilton is a two-time UK Strongest Man, having won the competition in 2020 and 2021. His first international strongman competition was Europe's Strongest Man 2020, where he placed 8th overall. He first competed at World's Strongest Man in 2020 when he placed 5th in his group, and then he returned last year where he placed 4th. His best international performance so far was at the Giants Live World Open in Manchester last year where he placed 6th. And he will be returning to World's Strongest Man this year, looking to improve on his past results. So Gav is still a pretty new athlete, isn't he?
Absolutely, and I think a lot of people forget that, including Gav himself sometimes.
Yeah.
He sometimes forgets that he's only been competing internationally since 2020. When you look at some of our more established athletes, you look back and you realise they've been competing a long time. And they don't burst onto, they do a lot of shows and then suddenly they see that improvement. Gav is still very much in a learning phase of his career, and he's gone through a few health issues.
Yeah.
Got out the other side of that. He's working really hard with his coach, Dale McPherson, who's got him much, much fitter. I believe he's dropped about 20 odd kilos since last year's World's Strongest Man. So he's looking to be fitter, looking to come in as a much better, well-rounded athlete.
Into the events then, and the first event in the heats is the loading race.
Loading's an event that Gav has done pretty well at in national competitions. When he competed at UK Strongest Man, he won the loading event. The 2 times he's done World's Strongest Man, he's placed 4th and 5th in his group out of 5 guys. So at that higher level, maybe not quite as good, he has been working on his fitness. And he's tall, which helps with being able to lift the awkward objects. He's got the height to kind of put them on easily. So if his fitness is feeling good and his speed's improved, which I've watched him doing shuttle runs, sprints, Dale has made him work really hard in this prep. So he's coming in fitter and well prepared on these type of events. But looking at the history, it's not been his best events thus far when it comes to World's Strongest Man.
Next then we have the Deadlift Ladder. How do you think Gav's going to do?
Well, Gav's improved his deadlift a lot. He pulled 425 kilos at the contest last year, the Deadlift World Championships. Really big pull for him. He likes 1 rep maxes. He really does. His static strength is actually very, very good. So I feel he's capable of lifting. The one thing we saw at Europe's Strongest Man this year, which was his first show back, he did 3 out of the 5 deadlifts, but he was slow. He was one of the slowest guys to do them. He needs to make sure that speed is quicker. So in training, hopefully he's been working on getting his reps, getting down to the bar, making sure that transition between each bar is fast, because he's more than capable of pulling the weights. Like we said, 425 kilo max deadlift. That's a decent deadlift. If he can bring that kind of power and he's quick, then he could score some points. Notoriously, he hasn't been quick. Speed and fitness have been what's letting him down a little bit at the higher level shows. So hopefully the body weight drop helps him in those areas.
Next then, the car walk.
So moving events, like I said, notoriously not been his best events. When it comes to speed on a car walk, a super yoke, he's not proven that he's that quick on these type of events. He's done okay at UK Strongest Man on these events, but at the world stage, Giants Live stage, he's been lower end of the table. So he's going to have to make improvements in that area to pick up some good points when it comes to the car walk.
So then we have a grip test, the wrecking ball hold. Now, I remember when we visited Gav at his gym in Wales, he was saying that through old rugby injuries where you grab the shirt and then they pull away, he's had some issues with his grip.
Yeah, he has. And in my head, I just had Gav down as having a weak grip. I looked into the results. Not the case. Gav's grip in competition has actually been very good. Okay. Strongman Classic last year, he placed one place behind me.
Oh.
So myself and Ivers, both pretty decent on grip. He wasn't that far behind us. And he's actually performed pretty well a number of times on grip events. So I don't expect him to challenge for the top points, but he could come mid-table on a Hercules hold or a grip type event. And yeah, I remember talking to him about I think it was it the little finger or the thumb?
It's little fingers,
It kind of gives way sometimes. When he locks in, his thumb and finger lock in well, his grip's actually improved a lot. And actually bringing his weight down a little bit could have reduced some swelling in the hands, which actually helps grip even more. So we may find he scores some decent points when it comes to the hold.
So you said he prefers the static events. Well, the next one then, log lift for reps, how do you think he's going to do?
Yeah, his log is actually very good, particularly his max log. He's been working really hard on. He's done some big numbers in training, and he's not bad when it comes to reps. I think he's around the 5 to, if he had a really good day, 6 or 7 reps on this. If he could hit that top end range, maybe get 7, he could score some decent points. He's not bad at all. He's not going to challenge the big log lifters, but he could pick up points, and in the right group, it could do very well.
So if Gav finds himself in 2nd or 3rd place after those events, he's going to have to do the stone off. How do you think he'll cope there?
Well, stones are an event he's more than capable of. Gav has lifted heavy stones. He's more than capable of doing all of them. The only issue with Gav is normally speed and conditioning. Speed's not an issue when it comes to these stones, but conditioning could be. So that could be the one factor that may hold him up on a stone run.
So with all that said, obviously he's came 5th the first time, 4th in his group last year. How do you think Gav's going to fare this year?
For me personally, Gav has to go here and focus on progress. Look at what he did in 2020 and 2021 and make steady progress from those years. He's really working hard on conditioning and fitness, which is a very important factor for him. I've said he's statically strong. I think one thing Gav forgets himself is that he's still fairly new to this level of competition. Yeah. 2020 was his first international competition. When we look at the other really big names, they've been doing the sport a lot longer.
Before they started going to Giants Live regularly.
Absolutely, some Welsh smaller internationals and stuff like that. He's been thrown in against the best in the world on a regular basis. That can be hard mentally because you're going up against these monsters, the Stoltmans, you're going up against Novikov, you're going up against really world-class elite level athletes that just don't give you a break.
No.
And it can drag you down a bit. And I think maybe a little bit of that got to him for a while. He's focusing now on fitness. If he focuses over the next 2 years, he could be phenomenal. But he just needs to make sure it's steady progress. Focus on yourself. Do not worry about what anyone else is doing. He's had a few performances in the past, particularly I remember Manchester last year where he was doing the farmers and the drag.
Oh, yeah.
And it was as if he kind of gave up.
Yeah.
Now, being a former athlete, in my head, if I was competing, I remember that. And when it comes to a stone off, you think, this guy's going to quit before me.
You'd be like a vulture.
I would, honestly.
You have to
and I know the other guys
You'd
will
have
as
to
well.
break him.
He's got to prove now that those days are out of his kind of, you know, you wouldn't see Ulysses like that. You wouldn't see a Novikov like that. You really make people beat you. You're going to be like, if you want to beat me, you've got to bring your best. And now he's got to get that mentality that strong, because to win at the international level is hard. If he can get that mental toughness, he becomes a threat. For me, Gav needs to go there this year. I don't think he makes the final. I want to see him challenge to get into the stones. If he can make sure he's making those steady improvements, another year of hard training, then next year I think he'll be ready to get to the final.
So there we have it, another episode down, which means we are another day closer to World's Strongest Man.
It's closing in on us. I cannot wait. I'm getting really excited.
Yeah, I think this is helping the excitement, actually. For me, anyway.
I hope it's helping you guys. We're enjoying doing them. Auntie Liz is shattered. Bless her. But she's still working.
I'm still alive.
I let her out of her cage occasionally.
Yeah, my editing cage.
But we're going to get through these. We hope you're enjoying them. Thank you very much for all the support. We've had some lovely messages sent to us, both on Instagram and on here. Please keep liking the videos. Keep commenting. It helps the algorithms and helps more people see the videos. So thank you again for the support. We'll be back tomorrow. No, we'll be back later with another one.
Yeah, we'll be back later.
Yeah. So thank you for the support and we'll see you guys soon.